So there's been a lot of hype around Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, and having taken it for a recent spin from Nintendo Switch's eShop, is this game worth your money? At 10% off, I was able to pick up the game for about $23, tax included, and this was largely a nostalgia-inspired decision, as the old-school Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles NES games, especially Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game, and Turtles in Time, hold some great gaming memories for me. These days, I certainly do not go out of my way to look for beat-em-up style games, so would this hold my attention? The opening cinematic and music immediately reminded me of watching the Turtles Saturday morning cartoon in the 80s and 90s era, and the developer Tribute Games clearly holds a lot of love for both the animated series and the games of old. The graphics are intentionally old school and slightly pixelated on some of the characters, but while having plenty going on in the backgrounds, that it still also feels modern at the same time. The Turtles themselves have enough to differentiate from each other, not only in terms of the different color bandanas they're wearing, but of course in their different weapon selections, from Leonardo's katanas to Raphael's sais or even April O'Neil's microphone. They do also move a bit differently from each other, as Leonardo seemed to be my favorite all-around character to control, Raphael seemed quick and I used him for some of the more chaotic stages, and Splinter seemed a little slow for my taste. Although all of the characters do have a dash move they can use to run quickly across the screen, whether you're just trying to speed up or dodge the enemy attacks. All of the characters are easy enough to control, and you can use either the analog sticks or D-pad, my preferred choice in the 2D realm, to move around in. They all have an extensive combo set too that the game will show you upon starting a new game, and you can check out the moveset at any time for a reminder. There's also a special gauge you can fill up to perform special attacks, and rolling away from enemies is a breeze with the tap of the A button. There's also a world map in the story mode that is somewhat similar to the world map of the first Turtles game on the NES, and it would appear quite deliberately so. The story is very simple, and in a nutshell, Bebop and Rocksteady are being bad and you go after them. It's nothing complex at all, and jumps you into the action as quickly as it can. The Turtles, Splinter, April, and the bosses will all have their share of one-liners and quips, and an added bonus is that the original voice actors from the late 80s cartoon are here, and since I was also a fan of Animaniacs growing up, it's pretty charming hearing Rob Paulsen doing his share of voiceover here.
Give me a break.
The music is also great here, going in between some turtle rap tracks, some fun 80s rock style tunes, and just generally upbeat music that fits the rapid pace of the beat-em-up genre on display here. Again, I think a big draw for many players here is going to be the nostalgia trip, and Shredder's Revenge definitely delivers on that front, from certain level design choices of suddenly walking down an alley instead of simply left to right, or cars being obstacles to avoid, hoverboard stages, and even similarly armed foot soldiers from the old school titles. Though I missed out on Turtles 3, the Manhattan Project, back in the day, one of the stages is clearly a direct homage to it, and that was a nice touch for me since I have no intention of finding or playing Turtles 3 anytime soon. There's some nice challenge here, and you can set the difficulty level between an easy to a hard mode, and if you're struggling on a level, you can always back out and change your character. I did this once or twice from Leo to Raphael, for example, or you could also play multiplayer online or grab a friend for some couch co-op to give yourself the advantage. Ultimately, is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge worth your money on the Switch? If you're a Turtles fanatic, chances are you're going to get it anyway, and if you're a fan of beat-em-ups, I think it's a great title on its own merit, past games aside. At the same time, the levels in the game took me on average I'd say about 5 to 6 minutes apiece, and unless you're a completionist, you could beat the game in just a few hours, even less. If Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game, has a special place in your heart, maybe from your childhood, or maybe you just like retro-style games, you'll have a great time with Shredder's Revenge. From my personal point of view, Shredder's Revenge is a great trip down memory lane, and Tribute Games clearly did their homework in including several nods to the old titles, keeping the gameplay simple and arcadey, and having great music and the charm of the original voice actors to boot. Despite the great gameplay, it is a short-lived game, though there are collectibles you can search out if you're a completionist too. At the end of the day, I think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge is an excellent title. However, it's also short-lived, and honestly not something I can say I'll pick up again soon, but it's nice having a title on my Switch for the future if I'm tired of everything else out there, need a Turtles kick, or just need another trip down memory lane. Thanks so much for watching. As always, please help out the channel, click subscribe, like, leave a comment on your thoughts on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge, any of the Turtles games, whatever you're playing out there, and I'll catch you in the next video.